Are you ready to Zoom every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Lady Love with relationship coach Joan Kenyon Woods? Uncover the secrets to lasting connections and thriving relationships. Only on our network, Brand on Demand, right here every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, beginning February 14th, the Love Day. Tune in, grow together. Lady Love, where hearts find their home.
Hello, powerful women CEOs and professionals. Welcome to another episode of Lady Love, where success meets your heart's desire, where success meets soulmate. My name is Joan Kenyon Woods, and I'm your host on Lady Love tonight. I'm a little bit stuffed up, right? But listen, the commitment is there. I thought I have to get on because it's a commitment every Wednesday, no matter where I am or how I'm feeling, to come on and just get it done. So tonight we're in for a little bit of a different twist today. I don't know if you're going to love it. I hope you are, but we're going to talk about transforming pain into power, rebuilding your life after being dumped. I know, right? After being dumped. But as you know, if we've been on this earth for even a decade or two, after, turning the 20s, 30s, we've been dumped. And it's a sad, fact that most of us have to go through it. And we do, we go through it. That's the good news, that we do get through it, right? And, if you're any kind of alive being, it's going to happen. It's going to happen where you're going to fall in love. And then maybe that person feels that you're not the one. That's my story. And so many years ago, I remember I just thought this person, this man was the love of my life. I was really quite young and didn't get it like I get it now. And I just felt madly in love, head over heels. I thought the sun just shone out of every orifice in his body. He was just everything to me. And, I was living in London, England at the time. And my parents divorced, my mum divorced my mum and decided to come to the USA, not just move across town in London, but to leave the country. Can you imagine the pain, the sadness of just being wrenched from everything that you know? And of course, from the love that you know. And so it was just the worst thing in the world for me. I just was sunk into this total sadness and depression. My whole body just felt like it had left me, and I just couldn't do anything. I just didn't want to do anything. In her wisdom, my mom, just brought my aunts around and people that she knew could help me to get out of this slump. And so what did I do? How did I even make it to become the person that I am today? Because it really took a while. And if it's the same for you, I'm here for you, sis. And we're going to talk about what are some of the things that we can do when we are just being discarded and dumped like rubbish and feeling like we are not wanted and feeling like we can't be loved again. I want you to know that that's not the case. You can be loved again. If you want love again, you will find it. So what are some of the things that we can do, right? First, you need to take time away from that pain and hurt. Take time off. If you're in midlife and it's happening to you, it's probably, so devastating that you're thinking you'll never find anyone again. But take time off from work, from being around, the things that you used to do, or those are the favorite haunts and things like that. Take that time to be by yourself and to allow those feelings and hurts to be let out, to scream, to shout. Go into your own corner, Go into your corner somewhere and just scream and shout and get it out, because it is devastating. It is a feeling like your ego has been so bruised, so hurt, that you feel you'll never recover from this, but you will. But we have to go through it. So let it out. Whatever those initial emotions are, anger, pain. And I was in my research found that it's like going through those stages of grief, right? Denial, bargaining, anger. And because it is a loss, it is a loss. Emotional trauma and loss is terrible. It's a terrible thing. And the thing is, we all are going to go through it at some time or other. If we are living and breathing in this world, we're going to go through it. And the good news, as I said, is that most of us make it through. Most of us make it through. And if you're one of those who are still going through or still need that help, more help, and I suggest, you should get that. You should get more, greater professional help. We're going to talk about that later on. But on your own, things that you can do are like taking that time to scream and shout and tell it to the universe somewhere out. Go into the woods and scream. Go into your room and scream into your pillow, and just let that initial emotion out. Okay? Because the part of our brain, the logical part, is shut down, and our total emotional part is just taken over. We cannot see, the clearing for the trees. It's just, right? Our heads are exploding. Everything is just going awry. And we have to let that out. And it's okay. It's normal. I worked with children for many years. And one of the things we do is just give them a corner to vent, right? You have to vent. And as adults, we have to vent as well. And it's okay. Okay. So read some really great books on heartache and heartbreak. It is so cathartic and so helpful to read something on a page where somebody understands exactly what you're going through. You're reading the words of how you're feeling, how your emotions are up and down, right? How you are being carried through this wave of feelings, one day this way, the next day that way. And you're reading this because somebody has gone through it as well. As I say, it's literally a universal thing. These are one of the things that we know has happened to many, many people, right? If they are living and breathing and, seeking to take part in the world, right? You're falling in love, you are losing love. And as I said, I work with children, and I'm surprised to see today at age 12, they're starting, I have a boyfriend and I'm in love. They haven't a clue, but it's starting younger and younger. And so if you're in the world, you are finding and looking for love. And then you're losing it sometimes because maybe it's not a good fit, right? It's not a good fit. So it's not always you or me or us. It is, is this a good fit, sis? Are we in the right place, in the right relationship? So important to know that. Okay. And so reading on the page, a person who's gone through it or is explaining it in a psychological way of what's happening to you, it's comforting. It's comforting to know that you're not alone and nothing is wrong with you. It's okay to feel the way that you feel. Talking to people who can support you is so important. I remember when I was going through everything, my mom brought my aunt over, and she was just such a comfort because she understood all of it, right? She just walked me through and read to me and comforted me, hugged me when I needed it, because of course you're a blooming mess, right? I was just a bloody mess, just crying all the time, didn't want to see or go and do anything. And I left from outside into my house and into my bed, and I just stayed there. Like, that was the comfort place for me. And eventually, going through all these things that I'm talking about now, reading, finding my spiritual self through my art. Because, then I hadn't been able to or knew what my spiritual self was then. But my aunt introduced me, I went to church. I went around people who were positive and spoke positively to me and into me. And that's what you want to do. You want to find those people who are going to speak into your soul, speak to your heart to help it to recover. Because this is like a death. It's the grief of your heart's loss. And when we've lost something that's affecting our heart, we can't see any way out, but there always is a way out. There is a way out. One of the other things that, happens to us is that our whole emotional part of us and our brain takes over. And so when we are reading, when we're around the people who are supporting us, we begin to reboot the logical side of our brain that says, no, you're not dying. No, this is not going to be the end. You have a lot to live for. And start to bring us back. Because when we're hurt, when we're dumped, when we're discarded, our ego takes a big, big, big knock. It takes a big bruise. And for many of us, high performing, trailblazing women, it's hard because you're successful in everything that you do and everything you have been doing. And so it's difficult to see, why is this happening? And I think that's what's been happening. That when that loss came, many of you, and in the work I've been doing, I've just given up and said, listen, I have this going on for me. I'm a doctor. I've done this. I take care of many people. I'm in the C-suite of my business. So why do I need anything else? But we find that it's really not giving us everything that we need, is it? It really isn't. It's great. It's great that we're successful and we're succeeding at our careers and our professions. And that's great. And everybody gives us those accolades because you deserve it. You deserve it, my love. But then we sit back, and when we go home and we're there by ourselves, I heard a big statement that said, you go home and, you grab Ben and Jerry. I want you to grab your own Ben and your own Jerry and have that moment where somebody is saying, you are worthy. You are, deserving of more, because you are. When we're dumped, when we're discarded, it doesn't mean the end. It doesn't mean that we can't now get back to getting more. And so some of the things that we do is we start to discard our routines and the things that we do that kept us, moving along at a nice, click, as they say, or pace. And I know I did that. I just sort of stopped everything. I stopped going to work. I stopped talking to people. I stopped getting out of my house. It was just really that bad. And if you've been there, like I've been there, it's difficult to get from there. But look at you today. Look at me today. We need the help to move us from where we were to where we can be. And I'm here to tell you that it can get better, and it will. It will. You have to trust the process. Trust the process and go through it. Go through it. And so keep to your routines, right? Keep to your routines. If you used to get up at 9 or 8 or 7 or whatever, get up the best you can. I have to say, the first month, the first 2 months, no, it's maybe hard to even get out of your bed. That is hard. But when my aunt came for me and said, come on a Sunday, it was like 3 months in, get dressed, let's go, let's leave the house. Say yes. Say yes to the leadings in your heart. Like, okay, she's been coming, talking to me while I'm in my bed, and now she's asking me to leave my bed. I think I feel a little better. I've been given that permission to feel the way I've felt, and I've felt those ways. And I've screamed into my pillow when she's gone because I was still sad. But now it's, when do I make that turn to start to change my circumstance? And so sleep, eat, exercise, do the things that we know we have to do to start to change things. Because if we're not asking for the change, it's not going to come. We have to start to ask, help me, change me, give me that strength that I need. And it is strength that you're going to need. And you can't do it on your own. You will need help. Now, here's my disclaimer. I get it. For me, I was a young woman just in love, and I thought was the love of my life. But, I have friends and clients and people that I work with who tell me, they're married for 25 years and this narcissistic man, and now they have to make that move and that change, after they were dumped or they felt it was time to go. Those can be more difficult to make that shift and that change. But the same things apply. Getting around the people that you need to help you to make those moves. And if they are professionals, like you need counseling, get that. Get that. Today, there is no stigma, my dear love, about getting real help. We all know that it is difficult to do some things on our own. And so it's okay to ask for that help, whether it's from, your clergy, your spiritual lead and guide, right? Your church leaders, your friends who are, practicing meditation and the things that are keeping them sane. Ask for those help. Ask for that help. It's okay. I don't think most people are going to say no when you ask for that kind of help. Because when I asked, they said yes. So believe me, when you ask, they'll say yes. We just have to ask. We just have to get up and let them know we're ready. We're ready. And when my mom brought my aunt and she asked me if I'm ready, I was ready. I was ready to get up out of that bed now and start to make that change. How could I believe that at a young age that I would never ever find another person? I don't think it was realistic, but in our emotional brain, everything is, catastrophic, isn't it? It feels that way. It's the end. I'm done. Nothing can change this. But when the logical brain takes over and when the logical people who are bringing us the logical solutions, we need to run with them. We need to take one step. Take one step. And that's what I did. Took one step and said, okay, I'll come with you. And in those moments of just listening to the wonderful music that just surrounded me and catapulted me to the next level, it made all the difference in the world. Something else that you can do that I love, which is just so awesome. I, try to do it today as well. And it's just one of the favorite things for me is to start to treat yourself to those things that you did want to do, but you didn't do. For a long time, I did not wear makeup. I didn't do my nails and all this other stuff. Listen, I was younger then, of course, I probably didn't need it, but I do now, right? And, and part of my, religious upbringing as well, it was like, oh, a little forbidden to wear all this, whatever. But, as I grew into me and know that everything is coming from my heart and my soul and not, really from my outside. But I did want to, make the outside a little better. And I do enjoy going to the spa and doing nails and all of these things, right? So if that's what you like to do those things, do it. Or if you thought about it, or like me, you didn't before, but now you found them, it's like, go ahead, treat yourself to those things, because those things will pep you up. I'm wearing red today and I've just got so many compliments. As you know, yellow is my color, but yellow, red, hey, it's color, right? So color is my thing. I was talking to a friend of mine. She's like, I know if you were wearing all black, you would not be, giving everything that you're giving when you're wearing your colors. It's true. Okay. So red, yellow, listen, brightness. That's me. And so if you know that's you, then step into that. If you know it's you that you want to have, your nails done, get into some kind of routine of treating yourself to making yourself feel better, whatever it is. Self-care at this time is so important. Getting up and being grateful, saying a great gratitude prayer in the morning, getting up and writing in a journal what you expect from the day, what you expect the day to bring you, because you have to get up and seek out the good things. Seek what it is that you want to find, right? Listen, nothing is guaranteed, but I'm a big believer, and the people I'm around, that you are calling in everything that you want. The power is in it's in the power of your tongue, right? Your tongue has power. What you say, what you say goes into that universe and comes back to you, and it's not void. It doesn't come back to you empty. If you're saying it, you are claiming it, and the universe is hearing it. So say the things that you want, not the things you don't want, right? It's my big thing, especially working with young people. Like, what are you complaining about? Let's start saying some good things. And even the young women too that I work with, um, half the time I just tell them, what is it that you really want? You have to say what you want, not what you don't want. I mean, who wants to say, oh, I'm feeling this way, that way, that's negative or not what they want? No, you say all the happy stuff. So put into the universe everything that you want to say. All right. When you're treating yourself, treat your mind and your heart as well. That I want to think this thing. I want this to be positive. I have a whole thing that I talk about, you're creating that mantra. All right. You're three for you. What are the things that you want to happen? You've got to say them and claim them. So start treating yourself to the positive things that you want in your life. All right. And as life will have it, as you start to recover from all the pain and the sadness and everything else, you need to start to treat yourself, right? Treat yourself by getting out into the world, right? Get out into the world and just start to meet new people. My story too, I tell you, when I was recovering from this hurt and this pain and thought I'd never be loved again. And then my friend invited me out, to her home, a party. And I thought, oh, geez, I don't really want to go. But I'm like, you know what? It's my friend. She's invited me. I'm at the stage now where I do feel I do want to meet people. I do want to get out there. I'm not stuck in my bed anymore. Start that process of moving along, incremental things. I'm like, I can go to a party. And I went, and there was the man who really was the love of my life, to whom I am married to today. And so, in stepping away from the hurt and stepping into the love, the joy, and out of the pain and into the gain is what we want to do, right? So transforming, right, the pain into power, you do that by taking that power. You have to take that power. When she said, come, I said yes. You've got to answer the call, and you'll know in yourself it is time. So, sis, I want you, if you're out there and you've been dumped, you've been discarded like rubbish, like I was, it's time to let it go. I've talked to people and it's been years. They're like, oh, I can do bad by myself. Well, the statistics show that you can do bad by yourself. We are social beings. And so being isolated has the same effect as smoking and other causes of mortality. You need to be with other people. It's time to let that hurt go. One person's opinion of you should not make you and shouldn't break you. Many of you have been broken by that person discarding you and saying they didn't want you. But you know what? Just like when we're out looking for something, I don't know, an outfit, anything that we're looking to do, we don't just grab the first one. You discard many of them, right? I know if I'm out shopping for a dress or something I'm trying on, and sometimes we look at the rack and we see a dress, something that, oh, that's lovely. But then we go and try it on, and it's a little tight here, or it's showing my little pouch of a belly, and you're like, oh, no, I don't think so, right? And you discard, you're putting it away. I don't stop from taking another one because my intention is to find that dress. So our intention is to be in the world, still finding those relationships, and that relationship that's going to move us, support us, and give us that sense of love and support that we need. And so we're not going to give up. You're not going to give up. I don't want you to give up. Don't give up. Because you've been dumped by one person who has one opinion of you, think of all the things that you've done 1,000 times over. Think of all the things you had to do to get where you are now. You didn't just do it once. It didn't work out every single time the first time. You may have had to do it twice or 3 times. Or to climb that ladder, you had to keep doing incremental things. But if you just stopped at one level and say, I'm not doing any more, then you wouldn't be where you are, right? If you just gave up on getting to the goal that you wanted, you wouldn't have gotten that goal. Well, it's the same thing in your relationship. And if we stop, if you give up that power, if you don't transform, then nothing changes. And so it's like, a friend of mine likened it to, going back again into detox. If you're going to a detox program and you're just giving up every single time and saying, oh, no, I don't think I want to go here and there. I don't need a relationship. I don't need a man. I don't need this. It's like keep going back when you're trying to get out of this, this substance abuse, but you keep going back and saying, I don't need this. It's like you're detoxing over and over again. So leave it once and for all. Get away. Stop thinking those things. Start thinking, what is it that I want? Going for that. Having that at the forefront of your mind. Not what you don't want. It's difficult. I know it is. It is difficult to rebound, to get up, to start. But we have to do it. You have to do it. This is so important to your life that every single day when you get up and you are thinking about what you've lost, think about, was it really what you wanted? Because, I'll talk about this another time, but knowing what we want, and I'm pretty, clear on that's something that has to happen for you to move on as well. It's getting the clarity. And so in this, one of the last parts is getting the clarity about what it is that I don't want to happen anymore. What is it that if I keep doing this thing, I'm going to keep getting what I've always gotten, right? When you are looking into what has caused me to have this kind of relationship and why I'm here in this relationship, especially if you start to work with a professional, you may start to see these blocks that you've had in your personality. You may start to see these patterns of behavior that's causing you to have these relationships that are failing or not what you want. And then you're able to start to work on them. We all have them. We all have blind spots. I had blind spots for a very long time. Often my family would call me bossy. And I thought, I'm not bossy. What are you talking about? Right? But how do people see us that we don't see ourselves? I had to work on that because I think I was bossy, right? I was living in my Leo. I was in my Leo stance. I'm like, yeah, I'm in charge, whatever. But yeah, I didn't think I was being bossy, but I had to look at myself and listen to what people are saying. Especially if they knew me well, to say, okay, you know what, that may be so, and take what people tell you, not as gospel, but as, information. It's information that you can work on. Am I like that? If that's what they're seeing, if that's what I'm exuding, if that's how I'm presenting, we need to work on that. You need to work on that, sis. So these are some of the things we can do, once we want to transform our lives from being dumped to taking the power back, right? From being dumped to renewed life, from being dumped to love again. We have got to get to that, over that hump, to the next level, the next stage. We can't stay stuck. We can't stay stuck, because anytime we're stuck anywhere, does that help? Do we get to move or do the things we want to do? Think of it. You're in a swamp, in the countryside, you're stuck in the mud, in your car, or even just stuck in the mud. It's like, help me, somebody pull me out. And so that's what it is when we're dumped and we're stuck and we feel we can't move. We've got to move. We've got to find the people, the place. We're going to do the detox from all of the negativity and start to move on. We've got to feel and believe that we're worthy of it, because we are. We are worthy. Every one of us is worthy of being loved. Every one of you, my dear sister out there, who've worked so hard to accomplish everything that you've accomplished, do you not feel that you're worthy of love? Because I'm telling you that you're worthy of it. If you don't believe it, I believe it for you. I believe it for you. I believe that you can get it. And I believe I can help you to get that. If you don't believe it for yourself, believe that I believe it for you. Because that's where most of us have to start. If my mom and my aunt didn't believe it for me, I don't know where I'd be today. I was very young and impressionable. And so, even worse, I think. People think, youth is wasted on the young, right? Because we think everything is just so overblown. The emotions are just 10 times. So if you're a woman in midlife and you have been dumped, you know that there's more to you. You know you have the power to transform and take back your life. And if you don't know it, I want you to know it. I want you to feel what it feels like to have your heart's guardian come to you. And in this series, that is what I'm going to work on, is helping you to find your heart's guardian. Because there's someone out there who wants to give you all the love, the joy, all of the grace and satisfaction that you are craving and want, all the supports, all the trust, the soul satisfying joy that gives you a sense of, oh my gosh, happiness. That he's out there. That person is out there for you. And I believe that it can happen for you. This has been Lady Love. I'm Joan Kenyon Woods. And I want you to know that you need to ask for what you want. You got to seek to be what it is that you're asking for, so you can knock down those barriers to finding your heart's guardian. Until next time, this has been Lady Love, and I'm Joan Kenyon Woods. Make a comment, send me questions. I'm here for you. I'm excited for this opportunity. I'm excited to be here for you. Please send me some questions that I can answer for you. Please make some comments. Let me know how I can help you. The email address is right there on your screen. You can find me in all of the social media, Facebook, IG, everything is Joan Kenyon Woods. And I'm excited for this. I'm excited for this opportunity. And I'm excited for you, my dear sister, because we're in this together. Let's do it together. Until next time.